Return rumors for Bray Wyatt's WWE return is really picking up lots of steam, with SummerSlam quickly approaching. So we'll take a look at the new potential targets for Bray Wyatt if he returns at SummerSlam. So Bray has spent the last 6 months on the shelf being medically uncleared to compete in the WWE. And since it's an undisclosed injury, there's no way of knowing the potential recovery time at all for him. So it's definitely been a challenge to try and figure out when Bray would return. But as August is quickly approaching, things appear to be headed in a more positive direction again for rumors about Bray Wyatt's return. The new biggest rumor surrounding Bray Wyatt is a potential return at WWE's Summerslam event in Detroit. The popular rumor being spread is that Bray Wyatt could make his presence felt by interrupting one of the 3 biggest matches on the card at SummerSlam. Those 3 matches being Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, with the idea being that he'll attack one of these men post-match. Bray Wyatt missed the 2023 WWE draft, making him a free agent, so WWE could technically use his return for any brand they choose, making an attack in any of these 3 matches highly possible. So let's take a look at these matchups and see which one makes the most sense for Bray Wyatt's return. One of the big matches that he could interrupt is Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Bray has a lot of history with both of these men. Bray Wyatt first met with Finn Balor in the ring several years ago, and they've had plenty of huge matches ever since. Bray went one-on-one with the Demon one year, and Finn Balor was the first ever opponent for the Fiend, so there's a lot of history there. So does Bray Wyatt come after Finn Balor with some of that history being in mind? Or could Bray Wyatt target Finn Balor with a new goal in mind? Another popular fan theory over the last few weeks has been the idea of Bray Wyatt crossing paths somehow with the Judgment Day. So maybe that's what this could lead to. Maybe Bray targets Finn as a way to earn the Judgment Day's attention and have that story start to form from there. And if Bray targets Seth Rollins, that's another superstar that has a lot of he has a lot of rich history with. Who could ever forget the hard-hitting battles between the Wyatt family and the Shield? Something that Bray and Seth were both a part of on opposite sides of the ring back then. And then you had their feud over the Universal title in 2019 that wasn't well received. Not because of the talent's fault, but more of the questionable writing. And both Seth and Bray have said on several occasions since that feud that they would like to work together again and make things so much better this time around. So Bray coming after Seth here in this spot would give them the opportunity to cross paths again and make things right from 2019. And then the idea of Bray Wyatt coming out with a post-match attack after a Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso is something that we already discussed a few times, and it's very interesting. Obviously, it doesn't seem like Bray Wyatt would not have much reasoning to look over Roman Reigns and come after Jey Uso. If Bray appears after the tribal combat match, he's most definitely looking at Roman and only Roman. Like we mentioned a few weeks back when we first went over the idea of Bray Wyatt returning for revenge on Roman Reigns. It'll be this perfect full circle and reverse moment, because back in SummerSlam 2020, it was Bray Wyatt who had just survived a brutal championship match and was unexpectedly attacked by the returning Roman Reigns. So how crazy would it be to see the exact same situation happening again at SummerSlam 3 years later with the roles now being flipped? Roman Reigns would be the one coming out of the long and brutal championship match, only to be greeted by the unexpected return of Bray Wyatt. Bray's story with Roman is one of the biggest loose ends of Roman's entire title reign. Roman pinned Braun Strowman, who wasn't the Universal Champion, to become the champion. Roman never actually pinned Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. And Bray Wyatt never got a rematch at all against Roman Reigns since that big moment happened now over 3 years ago. So it would be a fresh opponent for Roman Reigns this deep into his title reign. But the only downside about having this feud is that it's very similar to Seth and Bray's 2019 feud in the way that you have a situation where both men can't really afford a big loss. Roman can't drop the title, and Bray can't really lose either, coming off this 6-month hiatus. So in that regards, it would be hard to pull off. And the one that fans feel like would be most likely is the idea of Bray targeting Cody Rhodes. Obviously, Bray Wyatt definitely won't come after Brock Lesnar because Brock already turned down the idea of working with Bray earlier this year. So Brock probably has that same mindset of not wanting to do anything with Bray. But the idea of Bray coming after Cody Rhodes seems like the matchup with the most potential here to actually take place. Interestingly enough, Bray Wyatt even had some lines in his promos from earlier this year that some fans thought were very subtle references to Cody Rhodes. It definitely could have been a reach at the time back then, but if Bray and Cody are linking up for a feud in current day, it would be pretty crazy if they somehow tied it up to those Bray promos from earlier in the year. And like other fans have pointed out, Cody Rhodes was Bray Wyatt's pro back in the very early days of the original NXT. So that's another thing that they could bring up in a potential feud between the both of them. Cody was technically one of Bray's first few teachers and mentors in WWE. So for the student to now be coming back after the teacher would be another interesting aspect to play with there as well. So out of all the potential men for Bray Wyatt to target at SummerSlam, fans seem to agree that Cody Rhodes makes the most sense because there's some history there. There's no world title involved, and it could be a nice non-title feud. And with rumors that Cody Rhodes could be heading back to the main event of WrestleMania 40 to face Roman Reigns again, this could be another great feud to keep building him back up for that WrestleMania match. Cody already passed the physical test of going up against Brock Lesnar. That whole feud has shown how tough Cody Rhodes is, and how he never gave in to someone that was obviously bigger and more physical than he was. And with Bray Wyatt, Bray would be testing Cody Rhodes' mental strength instead of his physical strength. Bray's #1 weapon is his ability to get inside your head and try to take it out of you from within your own mind. So Cody passed the physical test, but could he now pass the mental test from Bray Wyatt? We saw what Bray Wyatt has done to superstars in the past. Just look at the Firefly Funhouse match. Bray Wyatt basically got inside John Cena's head, made him revisit every entire big moment from Cena's own career, and used it to mentally destroy him. So that's what Cody Rhodes would be up against, and obviously he has to survive Bray's mind games and prove that he's mentally strong enough. So Cody picking up all these major wins over the next few months should put him back in position to be looked at as, once again, a major threat to Roman Reigns' title reign, shall they meet again at WrestleMania 40. So SummerSlam appears to be the big new rumored spot for Bray Wyatt's return. If he doesn't return there, we'll have to see where the discussion goes from there for Bray's return. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.